Howdy y'all, this is Michael with Mikey Does Outdoors, and I have a video that's primarily just plain old fishing. I went up to a place called Lake Palo, or Palo Lake. It's up in the north central panhandle of Texas, close to a small little town of Spearman, almost all the way to Oklahoma. But anyway, I had a good time, caught a few fish, several fish, small, but they were fun to catch. It was relaxing, peaceful, and just a good time. The lake is low. There's the dam area. See a few pictures of it before I get started fishing. But it's nice and peaceful, like I said. And I wish it had more water in it, but that's just the way it is. I caught several small fish and a turtle. You'll see all of it. But it is green. They had some rain recently, so it's got lots of green grass and stuff around. There's my chair here with my fishing poles. Started off with 2 poles and then just went to 1 because I was having trouble managing both poles, and so this time how easy it was to catch these fish, these small ones. I was just there for a few hours and caught 6 small fish. They're small channel cats. They were lots of fun to catch, and I'm just going to throw most of them back anyway. You can see that white pole getting a tap right there. It got several taps, and first fish I caught, I was catching on the other pole, the black pole, and the white pole was getting, and finally I caught the first one, let it go, and I got a hold of the white pole, and the fish had wrapped it around a stump or something and had to just break it off. And so I think I tried it one more time with the white pole, and then I decided just to leave it undone and use the black pole only, and I had a good time catching fish. It was nice. I mean, there was hardly anybody. If you want to social distance, this is a place to be, because there probably wasn't somebody within 100 yards of me at the most, at the closest. Most of them were a good 200 or 300, maybe half a mile or more away from me. So it wasn't. And this is one thing. I'm just fishing without a bobber on the bottom, a tight line, and sometimes they'll steal your bait. Sometimes you get snagged on something, but that's just part of fishing. You got to take plenty of extra stuff with you and just retie and keep fishing. Tell you one thing I've enjoyed. I've got these red True Turn, actually Mr. Crappie, I think 1/0 hooks. I like those things because if something's biting on them, I learned I can yank on it and it'll turn, it'll grapple. if they're anywhere close to where the hook is. Sometimes put bait on there and they won't be very close. And I discovered that I got some frozen shrimp from a place here in town, and that actually you have to pop something to make it. And there's a gland you have to pop. But once you do that and you put that fish on, that little minnow on, you don't have to worry about how you hook it because it's not going to be alive. But those little channel cats went nuts over these little frozen minnows. And if you don't have a minnow bucket, that's the easiest way to do it. And I'm sure the bait shops just started doing that because they had minnows die in their tanks and they didn't know what to do with them. But I'm a believer. It works. And then I started just put it on there like I would a regular minnow, but I decided no, just to put it on there good because it's not going to be moving around. It's just going to get sent and look like a dead fish. And that's what we need to do. Catch these catfish. And I've used that kind of a reel most of my life. It's easier. Don't get as many backlashes and stuff. I have some new spinning rods and reels. They're Fluger try-ons, and they were awesome. I love them. But I don't have the best bait caster open face yet, but I'm gonna get one and learn how to properly use it. I was using that big one as a great big bait caster, and that seemed to be able to use it pretty decently. But I can be better at it. I always have to work on some backlashes and that kind of stuff. Part of it is doing that and learning, from your mistakes. You can see that white one really getting tugged on. See, I was getting tugged on pretty good with the black one, so I just dealt with it because I had it in my hand. And that white one was getting nailed. That's a pretty stiff pole. That's a big catfish rod, by ugly stick. One of those catfish rods that they have. And the catfish was tugging on it pretty good. Probably because it was hooked. By the time I picked it up, though, it was snagged on something. And here I am taking the pictures to put on Instagram and Facebook, so everybody can see what I'm out doing. You know, you got to do that, and it's fun to do that. It's fun to. I think it's fun to do that, and people. There's you can see that fish wasn't very big there, but I guess the pictures I took made them look pretty good. Cause but you can see the teeny tiny little fish. And that one's going to have to go without an eye because that hook went through his eye. But I just toss them back. Then go grow bigger. You know. There he is. That's the photo I put on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere. You know, with both of them probably. And we go to the next one. I still got the white pole down there, but I'm not using it anymore. Because I already broke it off a second time, I think. I tell you what, this is the most relaxing way of fishing. If you just want some time away and relax and get your social distancing down, this is a good way to do it. I didn't have to wear a mask at all. I didn't even see a person the whole day, hardly, except for at the very beginning. I stopped at a convenience store in town to get some sodas and some ice to put in the ice chest, and you know, I ice chest with lots of water and Dr. Pepper's in it. You know. There's fish number 2. Little fish, but you know, small is okay. It was fun, no matter what you're doing. People always say that your worst day of fishing, even if I didn't catch anything, would be better than my best day at work at most jobs. You know, so this is a fun thing, I think. I'm getting a picture. This guy was on there a little better, but the hook still came out, and toss him back in. He can go grow bigger too, you know, there he is. But you got to have water for him to get to growing bigger too. I mean, they need more water. Here we go. This one might be the turtle, I don't remember. The turtle was just as annoyed at getting caught as I was at catching him, so maybe he won't bite anybody else's hook. I thought I caught something big at first, and it was. I guess weight-wise, it probably a lot heavier than those fish were. Cause he's probably as big around as a dinner plate almost. You know, if we get him out here when they get on the bank, you can see him. They're faster than you think they are, because he was sure trying to truck it back to in the water before I could get him loose from the line. See, there he goes. He's hauling. Look at him. But that's all I did was get my line cutters and go cut the line down there close to him. They get too close because I don't want to get bit. And I don't get it on camera, but I sit there for a while, and he sits there just, I guess, scared to death probably. A little bit he'll hiss and go run right back into the lake. Best thing to do is just cut it off and retie everything and then get back out there. That's the only time I caught a turtle, so it's not a bad deal, I don't think. Peaceful, relaxing. The few people showed up that I could see excuse me, across the way, and the one guy was going to try to put a boat on, and he decided not to. Went around to a little ways, and I think he sat there and fished for a while, but I don't know if he caught anything or not. But here's my next fish. Caught a total of 6 of them. Little ones, just like the same little one. But if I'd have moved to a different spot, found the right spot, I could have gotten into the big ones. Because chances are, if you're catching small ones like that, you're not going to catch any of the larger ones, which is fine, you know, just the way it goes. Gotta get the picture. There he is, little bitty. That's kind of cracking me up when I saw that people were thinking he was looked big in those pictures. Can you see how little he is? And it wasn't too hot. It was in the 80s. And it first got there, it wasn't much wind. Then the wind was blowing. It was blowing kind of out of the northeast. It was at my back, and it was good for casting and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't just horrible wind. There he is. Sky was blue, had a few clouds. If I was doing time lapse when I first got there, it would have been good time lapse time. Because those clouds were moving pretty good. There he is. Next one. Another little bitty one. And I try to just grab them when their fins are out like that. Then when they get, because those kind of fins, and this one's the one I think. Those kind of fins, those catfish can really get you. I think they have some kind of little bit of something on the ends of them that really adds to the pain, but it really hurts when you get stuck with a catfish fin. Yeah. Sit up there without a care in the world and just sit there and wait for the fish to bite. Yeah, I sold cars one time, and I kind of equated that to fishing, because you're sitting there most of the time, or you're trying to find leads or something. You're trying to find a way to get people to come by and bite on your line hook and buy a car or vehicle from you. And it was okay. Not my favorite thing to do, but it was okay. Here we go. Did I get him? I did. Look at him. There was one in there that was a little bigger than the rest of them. This might have been it. But still not big enough for me to want to mess with bringing it, If I'd have gotten a 3 to 4 pounder or so, I'd have kept him, because that would make some good fillets and be good to cook up. But I don't mess with those little ones. I just catch them, have fun catching them. That's the point. For me, is catching fish. Back in college, a buddy of mine and I would go to a lake, and this is before people started wanting to catch carp, and we would catch carp, and then we'd go back and clean up and go to Long John Silver's or somewhere to get some fish to eat. But we had a blast. One time we went 2 weeks in a row. The first week I caught a 6-pound carp. The second week I caught an 8-pound one, and that was a whole lot of fun. This is the one that was a pain. Had to get the pliers out. And I also had some shrimp. I used some shrimp, and I used the frozen minnows, and that's all I used that day for fishing. And this time it looks like I got a spot on the lens, which I need to clean. I just toss them back. I could walk up over there somewhere, that's not a big deal, as long as there's deep enough water there. You can see clouds changing as we change to the next fish. There are all kinds of birds and waterfowl out there. This has got a neat place. If you come, there's places to camp. On the other side of them, there's a real neat place for picnics and for they have camping on both sides with RVs if you want to hookups, water and electric. And they're open pretty much 24 hours a day. Self-serve places where you get your permits for the day. If you're just going out there to fish, it's just like $5 for the day. Or if you're going to have a picnic, and they have actually playground and stuff on the other side of the dam, and a little pond over there, and lots of shade. Really a nice place. They have a hard time keeping enough water in there, I think, but there's just not enough rain up there these days. I like it. I used to fish there with my nephew some years ago and have a lot of fun with him. Fished with some friends up there, brother, Good place. They used to, when it was deeper, more water in it, we could catch some pretty decent crappie over there. I don't know if they're still in there or not, but they probably are somewhere. You can find them. They're there. And they got other things. There's a place where hawks can stop and eagles and stuff. Get there at the right time. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I sure enjoyed going and doing the fishing and making the videos. Lots of fun as well. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I could use the support. Thank you.